In this video, I'm speaking to you about how woman knows your energy instantly and how lust weakens you. The bottom line is, when you go on no fap retention, women are gonna instantly notice you. And the thing is, I believe it definitely has a lot to do with your presence and your physical attributes. I believe you have to kind of realize that how positioning works. For example, maybe you're going to just a store, right? And you look important, or at least you look like, you maybe you might look attractive, or you might look physically dominant, or you're no nonsense. People are gonna gravitate to you, especially women, especially if they're in some sort of helper role, maybe in a less socioeconomic type of role. They're gonna gravitate towards you just because this is subconscious. You got to realize this, that men in general nowadays, it's like you have you when you give off this energy and aura that you are, you're not no nonsense type of guy. People are gonna they're gonna the behavior is gonna suggest, you know similarly. This is what you got to realize. So, when you go on nofap retention, and you're a stand-up guy, you're physically present type of guy, she's honestly going to be attracted to you because you're giving off masculine energy, masculine vibes, and this is what she's attracted to subconsciously. So the bottom line is, you're going to go on nofap, you're going to go on retention and everything like that. You're going to feel good about yourself. And the thing is, how does lust weaken you? It weakens you actually a lot. See, the thing is, I was watching this video and there were these guys in this supercar or something, and then some guy was coming up to them asking them, "Oh, how'd you get to this point?" And then the guys were saying, "We literally let go of all the vices and we just basically got up to our baseline." It wasn't necessarily what they did more of; it was what they did less of, and that's the baseline that I'm speaking about. So, when it comes to it, when this baseline, usually, if you want to be at your maximum potential, you have to let go. You have to be at a baseline. And how do you get to that baseline? You get to that baseline by letting go of a lot of different vices. Overstimulation, for example. If it's like alk, you let go of it most of the time. You might, if you want to go out here and there, sure. But if it's like a routine type of thing, you got to let it go. If it's smoking, you gotta let it go. Lust, well, watching material online, especially. This is pretty big because what guys don't realize that what it actually does is that it one destroys your decision making, and two, it just makes you overstimulated. Ever notice after maybe you do a session or something, you might be less motivated to do other things. It might even come to the point where you were planning on going out. One thing led to another. You decide to stay in and just be on the websites, and now you have no motivation to go out anymore. This is a very dangerous way to live because if you continuously do this, you're not fulfilling your root desire of procreation, and you're probably going to be depressed in a sense. So, lust does weaken you, and they sense your energy when you go on it because, especially when you go on nofap and stuff like that, if you come across as just if you look the part, this is from my experience. If you look the part, you look masculine, you look like you're no nonsense and stuff. People are going to treat you accordingly. If you come across as less confident, anxious, maybe just not in the best version of yourself, people are going to treat you accordingly. So this is what you have to realize, and I've noticed this 2 times. I've noticed the same thing where if you're on nofap, if you're on attention, your baseline is going to be up. You're going to be normal. You're going to be, usually when it comes to being normal, you're just going to be a lot more present than you usually are. You're going to be a lot present and stuff like that. So what I like to say, go on nofap retention, get to your baseline. Just get to your baseline where you explicitly destroy a lot of these vices that have been holding you back for a very long time. Completely just let it go. Now, once you're able to let it go for a while, now you have this baseline where now you're less afraid of things, and now you're more likely to go after your goals and your goals and dreams because you're not letting these things, these invisible vices, kind of grip you to kind of stay and conform you. If you didn't realize this, so A lot of guys think, usually, there's some people who also complain about, oh, I've been on retention for this amount of time, and I'm not getting any girls. This is another thing that some guys run into, and the thing that I can say to this is like you have to work on retention is an amplifier of what you already are. So honestly, if you're not attractive, then you're still not going to get the attraction that you want. You have to work on your being attractive as a guy. You can't just expect to just go in retention for a certain amount of time. Then all of a sudden, you're going to get this attraction. Now you may, see, the thing is, I can't speak for somebody who may be physically unattractive and still get attraction. I'm not 100% sure, but I believe it still might be possible if you let go of your baseline, you give off that masculine energy. Because the thing about women, it's not necessarily just about physical looks. It also is just masculine energy. If you have a lot of masculine energy, subconsciously you're gonna pick up on it. They're gonna be, trust me, they're gonna go out the way to be just nice to you because you have this physical dominating presence that you're carrying with you. This is a very good thing for you. So, go no fat, go on retention, physically work on yourself if you can. Now you're gonna be probably the most attractive version of yourself, and because you're the most attractive version of yourself, things are gonna naturally come to you. See, the thing is, you don't have to. What you have to realize is like the world, the universe works when you're in alignment, when you're carrying this strong presence about you, because you are a man. You are made in the image of the Most High. So usually a lot of the good things are already going to come to you just because of who you already are. See, the thing is, but what society does is try to numb you down with a lot of these things to make you feel less confident about yourself. Because you're feeling less confident about yourself, you don't think you deserve certain things. And this is why you naturally repel them. But if you can get to your baseline, if you can just get to your baseline where you have a restraining order on some of these things, these vices, you can get to this baseline where now people are going to treat you well just because you're in that baseline. Subconsciously, people are going to treat you better just because you have this baseline about you. So this is a very good thing. Go on no fap, go on retention. It's going to be well for you because you're giving off this aura energy about you that makes you more attractive. Subconsciously, everything is energy. Subconsciously, you're going to give off this energy that makes you feel like you're in control of your life. This is a very good thing. Being in control of your life is super good subconsciously. The reason why guys always feel intimidated, timid, is because the device that's holding them down. Think of it just like an invisible snake that's gripping you and constricting you without you even realizing. Or think about it, it's like if you're going up a hill or a mountain and you're holding this 50-pound bag that you don't have to hold. When you let go of that, that bag, those vices and stuff like that, you realize that you can sit up straight. You actually there's possibility. So this is what you have to realize subconsciously. Everything's subconscious. Guys just don't, honestly, there's too much vices. There's too much vices. They live for them. Have you ever noticed the dudes who predominantly try to make their life for women are the ones who don't get any of them? It's because they're too focused on them. They don't have anything else. They're too focused on them. They don't have anything else that they really want to do with their lives. So they feel like, hey, if I actually give them my attention, I'm more likely going to get them. But usually it's the guys who are prepared, who are working on their purpose, who have higher standards for themselves. Those are guys who are the guys who actually subconsciously pick them up, because you're not necessarily just focused on them too much. So with that being said, lust is going to weaken you as a man. This is number one thing. Once you let go of that, you're gonna rise up to your baseline, and now things are going to be easier for you. Everything's going to be easier for you. Another thing too is you're just going to be naturally more horny because you are. This is going to attract. This is subconsciously going to attract someone for you just because this is the way of how life kind of works. When you're on your purpose, when you've gone to your baseline, now things are going to be given to you because you're doing your part. Like I said, you are made in the image of the Most High. So things are naturally supposed to already be for you. All this struggle, all these different things, these ideas, these less than things, it's literally made for people who don't necessarily go to their baseline. You have to, for example, go to your baseline. Going to your baseline is the number one thing for you as a man. So, the bottom line is you're going to go on retention. It's going to be well for you. And things are going to go well for you because you're in your natural state. Natural state means that you can start attracting anything and everything to you just because of who you are. With that being said, I hope that video helped you out. Like the video, comment if you've, anything that you've gone through on your journey, and we will see you in the